This framing is I love it. Perfect. It just captures all of my imperfections. Coming at you today, slightly quieter, people are sleeping, but also slightly more bare than I usually am. That's fine though. It was going to happen eventually. I mean, also coming at you today. Oh, grey! What you know about wearing a full grey outfit? Now you know nothing. Would also like to mention that after previous videos, you would have thought I'd have learned about lighting, but no, here I am. Pitch dark. Using a single lamp. I'm living, honestly. I'm living. That's an angle and a half. Look at those bad boys. So anyway, the point of this video is to talk to you today. Sometimes I talk too quickly and that just brain-mouth coordination. I'm here to talk to you today about feeling passionate towards things and people and obsessing over things and people. I'm the kind of person that when I really, really like something, I will obsess over it for a good couple of months. Don't know if other people are like this. Probably are. I mean, there are 7 billion people on the planet. There's probably going to be someone like me. Honestly. So, you know, it happens with plenty of things. It happens with music artists and real artists. And I say real artists, like music artists aren't artists. Has artists lost its meaning yet? Yes. So musicians and artists of all genre and YouTubers specifically, but you know, we'll get to that. There are just so many different things I find myself obsessing over, and I also wonder why? Why do we become obsessed with things so easily? I mean, Vsauce, get on that, honestly. I was obsessed with One Direction for the longest time. Let's be real, still am. In love with Harry Styles, but that's the thing, I'm just kind of... I get obsessed with hobbies a lot, like a lot. Sometimes I'll be so into like drawing or painting or just doing something like that, and I'll be just doing that for months at a time, and then I'll think, oh, you know, I really enjoy this, but then I get bored of it one day, and what happens when I get bored? I move on to the next hobby, which tends to be, you know, something like reading or writing or something like that, which is great because then I'll end up writing, you know, like 4,000 words a day, which is actually really good when you think about it, but then I'll get bored of it and then I'll ditch all those projects that I've conjured up in my mind while I've been obsessed with them, and I'll move on to the next hobby, which tends to be film or TV, and I'll think, oh, I can write my own TV scripts, and then I do, and then I have these half-finished scripts because I get bored of them, guess what, after a few months, and I just... Why can't I be consistent when it comes to hobbies or anything like that? Like, I just, oh my god, I'm the kind of person who goes through phases through their lives. So to explain that, I guess I should really look at my big problem. It is a problem. I'm addicted to YouTube. The biggest example of my hobby hopping is in YouTube itself, in that I will go through different phases of liking different kinds of content, and I'll just kind of consume all that there is from one side, and then I'll have already seen that, and then I'll think, oh, I'll just watch something else until they've uploaded something, and then that something else will consume me, and then I'll just... It's a never-ending cycle. I have talked about this with people in real life, and I do get quite a few weird stares and just kind of like, oh, okay, sure, yeah. An example of my hobby hopping would be on YouTube. For the longest time, I was obsessed with daily vlogging. In particular, I was obsessed with Alfie's vlogs. However, I do not watch them so much anymore. And the reason is because I grew out of them periodically, in that because I was watching Alfie, I was also watching Zoe, so I would watch her daily vlogs, which aren't daily, her vlogs, just, you know, I just got obsessed with vlogs, alright, okay? And so I watched her videos, and then that kind of led me to her main channel, which I always kind of avoid, because when I'm watching her, I just can't help but notice that every second like every second clip, every second cut, she's like looking at herself in the viewfinder, and I'm like, you've been doing this for what, 10 years now, and you still ain't used to looking at yourself in the viewfinder? What you doing? Anyway, yeah, anyway, we'll get over that. So I get obsessed with Zoe because she's a beauty channel. Other beauty channels are recommended to me in like the suggested side thing, and so I'll click on those because I have no life, and I'll click on those and then I'll get obsessed with them. But then I get bored of them because there's only so many times you can watch somebody put makeup on their face, and then I'll move on to something else, and that something else is usually like Joe, because, you know, brother and sister, they'll be suggested with each other, whatever, all that kind of jazz. So I'll move on to Joe, and his videos are funny, they're great, they're top notch, you know, but I don't watch them consistently every single Sunday. Like, I'll just kind of, I have this really bad habit, but we'll move on. We'll get to that later, actually. I have, that's another bad habit I have, never finishing a thought, but okay. So I'll move on to Joe. He's really funny. Love him to bits. Honestly, he's great. Top-notch 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 YouTuber. Honestly, because he's got that little group. Do they call themselves something? You know, it's like him and Casper and Connor Maynard and Jack and Josh. I don't know what his name is, I can't remember. I'm not thinking about Ollie, but he's a part of it. But the other one, the one that always wears a leather jacket, I don't know. Anyway, YouTube is like a Jenga tower to me, because honestly, once I start pulling at these blocks, soon there won't be enough blocks to pull at, and it'll all come crumbling down, and I'll just be in this pile of Jenga blocks. And this analogy doesn't really work, but the thing I say whenever I'm like talking to anybody about this problem, this addiction I have with hobby hopping, the thing that I always say is that I always watch gaming channels, but that is a lie within itself. For the longest time, I was obsessed with Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, and you know, that little niche, you know, like niche, that little, it's fine, like you can be obsessed with them all you want, they're great people. But I grew out of it. I feel as though I'm not able to say that, oh, the only thing that I watch now is gaming, because that's not even true. That's not even true in the slightest. I go through phases. Whenever I'm saying that the only thing that I watch, or the only thing that I watch consistently is gaming, I'm lying to myself, honestly, because when I'm saying that, I'm actually thinking of a particular group. I'm thinking of particular channels, you know, like I'm lying to everybody by saying that I'm consistent with something, because genuinely I'm not. It's almost 12 AM and this is why I need a script, because I just... What was I saying before? Oh, I don't remember, honestly. I'm the worst. I can't. So I was just scrolling through Tumblr for like 5 hours just then. And I was scrolling through like a particular YouTube tag, and like every single thing that was just posted, I was just kind of like, oh, they would do that, oh my god, she would say that, oh my... What is it about getting obsessed over people or a group or a TV show or like a musical or an artist that just gets me so emotional and so ready to die for them? When you love something to the extent that I do, you get so depressed for the longest time, because you get into this mentality, this mind state of this kind of like, oh god, I'm never going to meet them, I'm never going to see them in person, in real life. How do I put myself through these emotions? How is it that I can love somebody so deeply that I have never met in my entire life? Like, how I do that? Bitch! I just get I just can't control how I'm feeling. I just can't. When I am so obsessed with something, I will honestly scream and cry over it. I'm actually a disgusting human blubbering mess. What makes me so passionate about these things? What makes these things so passion-worthy? I'm kind of waiting for me to get bored of this group. It's been a good year now, which is second longest obsession, like constant obsession, following One Direction, obviously. I just have so much love to share for these groups and these people. How do I let them know that I love them without looking like a creep? That's another thing. Do you ever like kind of imagine, like you just kind of imagine what it'd be like to be a part of that thing that you're obsessed with? I don't think about these things when I'm obsessed with a TV show. But if you are genuinely obsessed with a TV show, do you try and imagine that you're one of the characters, or do you imagine that you're a part of their world? Personally, I think I would imagine I'm a part of their world. That seems like more fun. If you're obsessed with a real life person, do you just kind of imagine meeting them? Because I do that all the time. And then I imagine that we become friends. Yeah. Lonely. There are different kinds of fans. So there are the casual fans, which are the people that like their music, or they like the occasional video, or they like the occasional drawing, or whatever, but they don't follow them completely. Like they don't really follow them on any social media. They only kind of listen to their most popular songs, or they look at their most popular videos. You know, like those kinds of people. The halfways, and they're kind of the people that are verging on becoming the third tier, but they're not there. And they won't be there for a couple of months. They'll do things here and there out of their way to like make sure that this influence is a part of their lives a lot more. That's another thing. Influence. I will talk about that later. Definitely will. Influencers. And the third tier are the stans. A colloquial term coined by some fandom somewhere in the world, and it was from that Eminem video. You know, the one with Stan. I mean. Basically, they're an obsessive fan. They're just obsessive. So these people just go out of their way to make sure that these beings are a part of their lives. So I am very much a stan, because when I like something, I go ham. Does that rhyme? So when I like something, I just go in. I immerse myself in their world. I am a part of them. Oh god, what was I going to talk about? Oh, influences. Yeah. I'm also a very impressionable person. I'm so impressionable that anything that I do will affect my personality for the length of time that I'm doing or watching these things. But if I'm watching a particular YouTuber or group of YouTubers, i.e. the Sidemen, it's like when I'm watching people who use terms that I wouldn't usually use, and I find the terms funny. There's this YouTuber that I'm actually in love with. Like, I'm in love with this guy. And he uses this term, mandem, which sounds so... I sound like such a parent when I say he uses this term, mandem. But he does use this term. He uses this term, mandem, and I genuinely want to incorporate this term into my vocabulary. It just means group. It just means... It's just like the boys, the mandem, the boys, you know, the people, my group, my friends. It just means that. But I'm honestly like... wow. So yeah, that's pretty much it, I think, I have for being passionate about things. Because there's a good kind of passionate, you know? There's the good kind of passionate where it drives you to become something, to like do something with your life. So anyway, that was me rambling about being passionate about things. I probably didn't finish a few thoughts, which, you know, I'll make note of for maybe next time if I make another small midnight rant, a small midnight rant for the future. Put them down on a list. Won't script it though. Haha. What's the point in scripting when you can get beautiful gems like these mess ups? Yeah. Anyway. Hope you enjoyed my stripped face. Hope you enjoyed my stripped back kind of... Since it is midnight, I'm probably just gonna go back to scrolling through Tumblr and obsessing over these people. As you do. Okay, cool. I guess I'll catch y'all next time. Thank you for watching, and I gotta go. Bye!